Welcome to the Weather Guru Podcast for Tuesday, February the 18th, 2025 for the lower 48 United States. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Please be sure to subscribe or at least hit the like button if you appreciate these forecasts. Now, right now, we're looking at the National Weather Service current hazards, courtesy of pivotalweather.com. And we're gearing up for a winter storm warning and advisory. Now, this is going to be for tomorrow, Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. These warnings extend in this area in pink is going to get heavy snow anywhere from Topeka and Wichita, Kansas, Oklahoma City suburbs, Tulsa, back towards the Ozarks into southern Missouri, Joplin, St. Louis, all the way over to Cape Girardeau and into Memphis, Paducah, Louisville, Lexington, places like that, Pikesville, London, Kentucky, down through Nashville, northern suburbs, and then over toward the eastern Appalachians, the southern Appalachians, and over toward the mid-Atlantic. So anywhere in the Tidewater, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Suffolk, up into the northern neck of Virginia and over toward the North Carolina northern borders there along the 95 and the Outer Banks there are going to get slammed with anywhere on the order of 6 to 12 inches of snow. Outside of that zone, in the purple areas here in this winter weather advisory, you still can see up to 1 to 3 inches of snowfall as far south as Huntsville, Alabama, and the northern mountains of Georgia there, LJ, Helen, Georgia, and those mountains, Clayton, Georgia, along 441 there into the Smoky Mountains there in Asheville. Anywhere the 1 to 3 inches of snow is possible outside of that, and that extends all the way up into the northern Rockies here in Big Sky Country in Montana and Yellowstone National Park, as well as eastern Washington suburbs. So this is what we're looking at as far as national here. Otherwise, we just have a freeze watch down in the Rio Grande Valley. You guys are going to be getting the freeze watch for tonight, February 18th, 2025. Looking at the temperatures right now for today and then the temperatures into tomorrow, you can see not much improvement here. We have this cold Canadian polar vortex dipping south here, jet stream all the way down into Texas here. And temperatures will be for the highs not below zero, will be well below zero in the Dakotas and in Nebraska, the High Plains. You guys are used to that. However, the wind chills will be pushing 30 and 40 below. So just makes you bundle up with that. Obviously, there's frostbite potential in that when it gets that cold for the Dakotas, Montana, Nebraska, and into Minnesota as well. And temperatures not even going to be that high. Even in Chicago, only 13 above zero tomorrow with winds blowing, heavy winds blowing, sub-zero wind chills all the way through for much of the country, besides the northeast and the deep south. So that's what we have here. And we also have warmth, hanging on the warmth down in the beautiful southwest there. 70 degrees Fahrenheit in Phoenix, 68 degrees Fahrenheit in LA in the basin there. Very beautiful weather down there. And as well as Miami, always hanging on to the 80s and 80 degree Fahrenheit. And Tampa, St. Pete, 85 degree Fahrenheit today. They're hanging on to the warm spots in the country here. So, once again, courtesy of AccuWeather.com. Major snowstorm, like I said, 6 to 12 inches in that dark blue. So this includes Richmond. So if you're coming along I-85, I-95, I-85 heading in towards Petersburg, just south of Richmond. Or if you're heading I-95 from Rocky Mount up to Emporia and Suffolk, Chesapeake, Norfolk, the Tidewater, Virginia, Yorktown, Virginia, back towards 64, back toward Richmond, and heading westward out of Richmond, the northern suburbs, heading back towards Charlottesville, you're going to run into some heavy snow on 64, 95, 85. You might want to postpone plans tomorrow, Wednesday into Thursday morning, because there's going to be a lot of snow in these areas, up to 12 inches. Some spots may get over a foot here, east of Richmond and 95 corridor toward the Tidewater there once again. And it's going to include also southern Maryland, like from Ocean City, Winnemucca County, down toward the eastern shore of Virginia. If you're taking the CBBT tunnel up into Route 13, up into there, it's going to be a rough go up into Delaware, and that's where the majority of the snow is going to be. So lesser amounts on the I-95 corridor north of Washington and Baltimore and Philadelphia. You may get a dusting to 1-inch coating, and that's through Thursday morning. So that's less of a snowstorm. Unfortunately, this is not a classic nor'easter. This is just a southern slider here that's going to bring heavy snow into the Mid-Atlantic, into the mountains of West Virginia and Southwest Virginia, and into the Maine areas as well. Taking a look at the map for tomorrow, Wednesday, February 19, 2025, it shows that clearly here. Heavy heavy snow is possible in the light gray shaded areas I showed you before, and then there's heavy freezing rain that's going to be possible. This is going to be mostly south on I-95 and I-40. So if you're coming like from Wilmington up towards Raleigh, Durham, Dunn, Wilson, North Carolina, Rocky Mount, Nash County, Roanoke Rapids, places like that are going to be seeing freezing rain mixing in with the snow later on Wednesday afternoon, okay? Now, snow is going to be heavy in terms of the mixed precipitation. This back from Nashville, Memphis. That ride from from Memphis to Nashville, including Jackson, Cordoba, Germantown, those areas are going to be experiencing heavy mixed precipitation into snow. Areas north of that into Kentucky, if you could take it anywhere from taking I-65, say back toward Louisville, into Indianapolis, that ride up there towards Chicago and all of that, that's still going to be snow, but not as heavy. It's going to be snowing again tomorrow in Ohio, Columbus, Cincinnati, Dayton, Cleveland. All these areas are going to be getting in the snow. West Virginia as well, Charleston, Beckley, Wheeling, over toward the Panhandle, West Virginia, and then Northern Virginia, of course, is going to be getting into that snow. Rain is going to precede that down toward the bottom. So rain and thunderstorms tomorrow, Wednesday, February 19th. There's going to be heavy rain here along the Gulf Coast here, extending from New Orleans, Hattiesburg, Baton Rouge, Jackson, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Mobile, Pensacola, Tallahassee, Albany, Valdosta, Macon, Atlanta suburbs, Peachtree City, back toward 20 coming to Aiken, South Carolina, back toward Columbia, and all the way Charleston, and over toward Savannah and Jacksonville, respectively. There's going to be heavy rain in those areas. And then back in the Rockies, you're going to see tomorrow that we're going to have that typical mixed precipitation, that snow in the Intermountain West. That's not too uncommon this time of year, along with cold northwest winds coming in. So be careful about that. Looking at the current radar here, you can see not much is being restored. This ground cutter. We do have some snow showers here just to the east of I-24 here out of Clarksville, radar here, Tennessee, and into Paducah. This snow here is just getting ready to come into to the forecast for tomorrow here on the radar. So you see tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon, this snow will be right up into the mid-Atlantic states here, and that's where the big trouble is going to be. You can see this rain and thunderstorms here. Now the good news is about this rain and thunderstorms here in the south is that it's going to be less severe. There is no severe component with this as much as it could be for Houston. So if you're coming out of Houston, I-45, the loop up towards College Station, Huntsville, Texas, back toward Texarkana, Shreveport, Oil City, Baton Rouge, Alexandria, down toward I-10, Houma Parish, back toward Lafitte Parish, and maybe into New Orleans proper city. This rain is going to continue to be a nuisance into Wednesday as well. Just so I-10, I-12, I-45, these areas, I-49, these areas are going to be inundated with rain tomorrow, but it should be on the order of light rain, anywhere in the order of 2 to 3 inches. We don't think it would trigger heavy flood watches, but you never know. Just be on the lookout for that. Turn around, don't drown. Now here's the water vapor image for today, or for tomorrow, I should say. And this is going to be for tomorrow, Wednesday. And you can see that orange is denoting dry air. So we have dry air right now riding along just south of Dallas-Fort Worth there, Texas. And we also have dry air into Phoenix in the desert Southwest, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and into Mexico itself. And then besides that, we had that moisture plume here, as you can see in green, denoted perfectly here, anywhere from Tulsa, Oklahoma City, back towards Fayetteville, the Ozarks, into all of Missouri, St. Louis, the Quad Cities of Iowa. All these areas are going to be inundated with that snow, light snow, and then tomorrow is going to slide right into the mid-Atlantic here. So you want to be careful if you're coming along, say, Interstate 75 through eastern Kentucky, into eastern Tennessee. You want to be careful along I-81, of course, the usual spots, leaving Johnson City, Tennessee, into southwestern Virginia, up in I-77, coming along the turnpike into West Virginia, and leaving the mountains of West Virginia. You want to be careful along I-95, south of the Virginia line from Emporia, north of the Virginia line from Emporia, Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, Halifax County, into Virginia, and then getting up into Richmond, Petersburg, Colonial Heights, and then north of Richmond, just the suburbs north of Richmond, into Henrico County. That's where you're going to get majority of the snow. And then eastward, you want to be careful if you get in 64 out of the Tidewater region. So Hampton Roads, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Suffolk, all those areas around there are going to be inundated with snow starting tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon, by lunchtime. So that's going to last throughout most of the day. Wednesday it's going to be snowing there. So I just want to give you that heads up. This has been the Weather Guru podcast for February 18th, 2025. Please be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I'll see you in the next episode. Blessings, everyone.